Getting thumb rings to properly fit can be a challenge, if not an art form. In the past, entire guilds were often devoted to the craft, and the final product could not be mass produced. It had to be a masterpiece, requiring repeated trial and alteration. Recently, I got approached to do a review of a custom made thumb ring manufactured by a company that has taken a high tech approach to this age old problem. Using computer controlled manufacturing equipment, they are able to produce rings fitted exactly to the customer's requirements. Given that minute differences in dimensions can make a major difference in the comfort and fit of a ring, this method has a lot of potential. I'm going to separate this review into two parts. First, the fitting process, and second, an evaluation of the design itself. The way that the ordering process works is that the customer takes measurements of their thumb at the knuckle, preferably using a set of digital calipers. This measurement stage is where the biggest errors can occur. Measuring a squishy object like a human thumb is a lot different than measuring something rigid. Even with a precise tool like a set of calipers, there's some room for mistake and lack of repeatability. Before the modern era of long-distance trade and communication, custom thumb ring makers would apparently take a wax mold of the archer's thumb to constantly reference as they carefully carved away. Maybe someday in the future we'll be able to scan our thumbs in 3 dimensions and send it off for a precise custom fit, but until then, the measurements will have to do. The manufacturer can provide a single ring based on the customer's dimensions, but the recommended approach is to actually order a set of 3 rings. Those extra 2 are made slightly larger and slightly smaller than the dimensions of the thumb. Essentially, by doing this, you're hedging your bets. It compensates for any errors during measurement, as well as to allow for the thumb sweating and swelling. Personal preferences for tightness also could play a role. There are several styles available. There is the standard, which comes either lipped or non-lipped. I think it's essentially a modern Korean-style ring, though lipped rings from the Mughal Empire are also similar. Then there is the Ottoman, which is a different, more minimalistic design where the string gets captured by the edge of the ring instead of resting on the side of it. It's rather thin and pointy compared to many examples of Ottoman rings that I'm aware of, but actually rather reminiscent of Roman and Byzantine rings. Finally, there is the cylindrical Manchu-style ring, which is its own unique beast. For this review, I chose a triple set of the Lip Standard rings, produced in black polymer. Full disclosure, the rings were provided to me for free by the manufacturer, though I later ordered a set of Ottoman rings on my own. Those will be the subject of a future review. As luck would have it, I found that the middle or center-sized ring actually fit me very comfortably and did not readily slide off after being correctly installed. The small is a bit restricting, and the large is slightly loose and prone to rotating and slipping off. The middle-sized ring provided the best compromise and worked very well for me. The way I did the measurements was that I measured using the calipers barely touching the skin instead of compressing down to the bone. I cannot say with confidence that this method will be best for everyone, but I had good results with it. As for the design itself, the lipped standard is very similar to other plastic thumb rings on the market, but the band is severely thinned out in the part nearest the thumb pad, and this solves one problem I have had with other rings, which is that a thick and wide band can cause the arrow to pop up when the draw hand is clenched. This could just be me, however, and it can be solved with a little bit of string crawl. But with this design, it's not a problem at all, as the band is a lot more minimalistic. The ring allows the arrow to make contact with the skin of the thumb, and only light contact with the ring itself. There are several materials that the rings can be made out of, such as black polymer, carbon-reinforced polymer, and copper or bronze composite. The black polymer is the most basic and most proven substance, and has reportedly been tested up to over 100 pounds in draw weight. Apart from minor scratching and some slight wear from the action of the arrow on the band, I personally did not experience any durability issues with my black polymer rings. However, the manufacturer is experimenting with some other plastic-based materials, and some of these, though certainly not all, might have issues. A friend of mine purchased a semi-transparent glow-in-the-dark version, and the ring unfortunately broke. The manufacturer indicates that this is the only ring that has ever busted, possibly due to the plastic being weakened by the addition of the glow-in-the-dark compound. Obviously, further testing will be needed to fully evaluate the long-term durability of all these substances. That said, the manufacturer seems very committed to providing a quality product, and the final range of materials will no doubt be the ones that will provide a long service life. In summary, I would say that in my experience, these are very well designed rings, and the ordering process makes it easy to get the sizing right. If you have had issues in the past with rings not fitting properly, or are just looking to try shooting with one for the first time, I would recommend trying out these custom made rings. They are priced very similar to non custom made rings, and the turnaround time at present is only a few days. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful.